If you ain't ballin' with Barber, then hold it, stop talking. Skills versus drills, we ain't doing them but ballin'. We just hung up the phone, but success keep calling. Ballin' with Barber and the program is awesome. You ain't ballin' with Barber.
Birmingham, what's good? What's good? Man, we're finally here. 3 years in the making, we finally here.
Finally here, my brother.
Yes. I talked to Coach, actually tried to pull this deal off 3 years ago.
Yeah,
We had a little one do it, the little fella. And as a parent, I grew up that during that little time frame. I realized, hey, I can't make this boy do something that's not in him, you know.
Yeah.
So a lot of times we push our kids and have them going down the path we want them to go down.
Yeah.
And then we finally realized, hey, he might be better suited to do this right here.
Yeah.
So we wanted to do this high school sports talk show, okay? And even back then, 3 years ago, we were going to have Coach Barber as our first guest. So,
Appreciate it.
For real.
and he knows. He
Yeah,
knows because
yeah.
we asked, like I said, we asked him back then.
Yeah.
And I kept pushing Chip. I looked up, and Mike said, man, leave him alone. Won't you do it?
Yeah.
But I think he was just being funny, like, hey, man, leave that boy alone.
Yeah.
So here we are.
Yeah.
Here we are. And this platform, to my knowledge, I don't know anybody else doing what we intend to do.
Okay.
We want to have something for the coaches to come and talk about their program, talk about what they're doing at their school, if there are any needs or anything that the public can help them with.
Okay.
And just basically keep everybody abreast of what's happening, you know, with Pinson Valley, with Fairfield, with Hoover, you know, whoever.
Right.
The second component of the program, our show will be for the student athletes.
Okay.
Where we want to bring them in, give them this opportunity to get in front of a camera with a mic in their face. So we're preparing them for that next level.
Exactly.
So that they're actually like, you know, not getting up there in college and scared to talk or, you know.
Stumbling the words. And
Exactly.
Things of that nature.
Exactly. So basically, that's what we're here for.
Okay.
High school sports covered and uncovered.
Okay.
The uncovered part is gonna be interesting. where we got a lot of stuff that go on in, you know, in high school sports. Where like right now I think we got something going on. We're gonna talk about it later, you know. But we want to uncover some things and connect some dots and help some parents out, help student athletes to make a good experience out of this, capitalize on it, and kind of avoid some of the pitfalls.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mike, appreciate you, my brother.
Yes, sir, man.
Hey, like I said, it's been a long time coming, but hey, thank you.
Had to kick him.
Thank you for the platform. Thank you for the forum.
Hey, man, had to kick him.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We're in the building, man.
Most definitely.
No.
Hey, so our first guest, I mean, y'all see him on the screen.
That's him.
Needs no introduction. I started making notes. I said, man, if I read all his accomplishments and accolades, I said,
he'll be all day
in the morning. So, multiple state championship winner, girls and boys, which is very interesting.
Yeah.
Girls and boys.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Go ahead, though.
Yeah. 3A, 4A, 6A. Premier trainer, extraordinaire. Hey, fashion guru. I mean, anything you can
Rico
think of.
Suave.
Yes, sir. Okay. And I give to you guys Coach Daryl Bam Barber.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys for having me, man. It means a lot to me to be an inaugural guest. You know what I mean? So I really means a lot to me. Thank you guys for that.
No doubt, Coach. No doubt.
Man, hey, glad to have you. I'm glad to be a part of it, man.
Yeah.
You know, when Jay, you know, kind of we talked about it a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And he told me his ideal, and I was like, man, I would like to be a part of it.
Yeah.
So here I am producing the whole thing.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. And shout out to you, you know,
No
Florida
doubt.
boy. Got
No
this
doubt.
thing up and running, so salute to you, man. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you, my
Yes,
brother.
sir.
And it's all good, despite you guys are alphas and kappas. I'm okay with it, though. I'm a rock with it today.
What are you?
I'm the sum of all fraternities.
Oh, okay.
Sigma. That's what the Sigma song
Oh, that's
said.
what
Yeah,
it is.
it's
Okay.
song. Yeah.
I never.
I'm gonna let you have that one.
Right.
All right, we're gonna digress.
Okay.
I don't want y'all to beat me up.
Coach, man, I want to jump in, man. Cause look, I hear everybody call you Bam, and you know, I was telling Mackenzie on the way up here. I said, yeah, you know, Coach, I'm gonna introduce him as this. She said, Bam, I never knew that. Tell us about Bam. Tell where you got the nickname Bam from.
So I hope my grandmother and my mother, I hope they're tuned in right now. But I say two things. If you call me Bam, either you went to Miles College or you know me from Florida. Just growing up, man, I was a bad kid, knucklehead. My mom, my grandma said I used to throw stuff around the house and I was hard-headed. And so my great-grandmother, God bless her soul, she started calling me Bam Bam off the Flintstones. And so
I was like, I hope that
I was just really bad as a little kid, and it stuck with me. So that was coming up, that was my child. And my auntie and most of my family still call me Bam. It was really Bam Bam, but they just kind of left the second one off and called me Bam.
Wow.
Yeah, and so like I said, either you went to Miles College with me or you were from Florida if you called me Bam.
If you knew that. Okay. Now, Coach, I looked at your history. I'm like, okay, a man with the Miles. Mike was telling me the high school. What's the name of the high school that you graduated? John
I. Leonard. Yeah. John I. Leonard,
Okay.
So it's Lake Worth, Florida, but if you're from out of town, you're basically going to say Palm Beach or West Palm.
Yeah.
Like if you're from Brighton, when you go out of town, you probably say Bessemer. I'm sorry, Birmingham, just because that's what everybody knows.
Right.
But yeah, most definitely.
See, now when I went out to school, I would say, you know, they said, "Where you from? You from Birmingham?" I said, "No, man, I'm from Fairfield."
Right.
I mean, I was proud of that.
Right.
You know. But,
right.
You know, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
So, Coach, leaving Miles, okay, you immediately went to midfield. They hired you in midfield. You started coaching over there.
No, man. So the funny story is, and side note, when I retire, I'm gonna write a book. So I'm gonna give y'all as much as I can without going too much into it. But believe it or not, I tell people all the time, man, I never thought I would graduate college.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just chasing basketball and just to be honest with you, chasing women, and I was doing some other things that I shouldn't have been doing.
Right.
And I got to Miles College. I played out in Texas College.
Okay.
A coach out there, he got the job at Miles. I had never heard of Miles, never heard of Birmingham. I'm thinking it's the backwoods. But I had a brother that was here. And so I was like, well, I'm in Texas. I'm 24 hours away from home versus being 12 hours away from home, and I knew I had family in Atlanta. So when I came to Miles, I was majoring in graphic design, art.
Okay.
Like I didn't want to be I never thought I would be a teacher or a coach or anything. And when I get to Miles, they didn't have graphic design as a major, you know? So I was talking to people, I'm like, man, like, first of all, I didn't even know the major was. I'm being honest with you, man.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
I mean, because he mentioned Texas College.
Yeah.
You was out there in Texas College with whom?
Kirkpatrick from Pahokee.
Wait a minute, Curtis Blow?
Kirkpatrick, he's actually from Pahokee. So I was back at school once in the summer hooping in my old high school.
Right.
With my coach, Leonard Banks and Terry Gaddy, shout out to them.
Can I pause again?
Yeah.
Speaking of Coach Blow, man.
That's his nickname, yeah.
Coach Blow. Yeah. He has some words he want to share with you right here.
Oh, my God, for real?
Coach Bam, this is Coach Patrick all the way down here in Florida, man. I want to say congratulations on all of your success and just continue to make us proud of you. Go, Newt.
Man, y'all, bro.
Yeah.
Man, salute.
Yeah.
Man, Coach Patrick, you know, along with all my other coaches, man, he played an integral part of who I am as a coach. Mm-hmm. You know, he was one of those guys, like I tell my players now, you know, I hated him, but I loved him. Right. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And even with me now, Coach Patrick probably didn't have the best X's and O's. Mm-hmm. But because of the relationships, I would run through a wall for that man.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
And so I kind of took that along with my high school coach, Coach Leonard Banks, his assistant coach Terry Gaddy, my stepdad at the time, Phil Robinson. It was just like gumbo. And that's why people don't know who I am today as a coach. Right. You know what I mean? So thank God I graduated. You know what I mean? I actually was at Miles trying to play basketball my last year and got in a bit of a trouble, and that'll be in the book. I was out of school for a year. A lot of people don't know that. Wow. My brother was like, you need to get your behind back in school. You didn't come up here for this.
Right.
You came up here for that.
Right.
And Miles, man?
Yeah, J-Boy. You know, he was, you know, I got in a little trouble working at the car wash.
I think I remember something like that.
Which car wash?
Right. Well, so back in the day,
Platinum.
tell my age, it was T's. So right across the street was Metro Auto and Detail.
Oh, okay.
So that my brother them owned that.
Okay.
So I was working down there.
Wow.
And just enjoying hanging out, for lack of better words.
Right.
Yeah.
And he was like, man, you need to get your behind back in school. So I go back to school, and I get back on course, and I'm just like, okay, education. Everybody said Miles had a good education program. So I'm like, I ain't finna graduate. So I just majored in education.
Yeah.
Funny story, and he'll tell you this. Rob Mosley used to coach at Ramsey,
Yeah.
University of Georgia. He's at Texas A&M now.
Rob.
I never forget, we were going to do our schedule.
Right.
And I looked at his schedule. I said, man, why your schedule say secondary and mine say elementary? He said, because I want to teach high school because I want to coach. And I was like, oh, I don't care. I just want to graduate.
Yeah.
Right.
I didn't think nothing about it.
Yeah.
So I went on, and thankfully, and I give her a shout out, my oldest daughter, mom, she helped me along the way, you know, Angelia.
Yeah.
And man, I graduated, and I never forget Dean Ray when I walked across the stage. She was, you know,
Ray.
called me Bam. Like that's the relationship I had because I was just struggling. You know what I mean? And they helped me out.
Yeah.
And I tell everybody, you know, some people graduated cum laude. I graduated thank you laude. I walked across the stage, and I remember Dean Ray, you helped me laude, gave me a hug, and was congratulations, Bam.
Have a lot of
So when I graduated, I still was just happy.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I ain't think nothing else about it. So I'm like, man, what I'm gonna do?
Yeah.
Guess I'm gonna be a teacher. I got an education degree.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Still never thinking about coaching or none of that.
Okay.
So I go on a couple of interviews, man. I was actually a funny story. That's why I say, man, it's so much people don't know. Funny story. I supposed to been teaching at Price Elementary with Minnie and Purnell.
Yeah.
I go there and the lady says, Mr. Barber, we don't have a position right now. We got a lady that's gonna retire. You can kind of sub until October. And I was like, well, you know, listen, I'm just happy to have a job at this point. I'm serious. She said, but I want you to do me one favor. And God rest her soul. She said, I want you to go over to Central Park Elementary and talk to Betty Griggs.
Okay.
And she said, now when you go over there to that big school, I still need you to come back now, but go talk to Betty Griggs. I go to Central Park Elementary, true story. They had no male teachers there.
Wow.
Central Park was one of the biggest elementaries in Birmingham.
Wow.
I go into the interview room, like when I was at Price, it was just me and the principal.
Right.
So I go into the interview room, I'm looking at like 6, 7 people around the round table.
Oh boy. First time for that type of interview.
So I guess the first thing I said, well, man, you pledged. You built for this. You
Right.
went. God bless her soul. You went through Vivian Howard,
Right.
Miles
Right.
College,
Right.
and I went in there and I killed the interview. And the lady said, "You got the job." So okay, cool. I'm the first male teacher. Again, never wanted to teach, never wanted to coach. So the lady at Price called me, Purnell Allen, called me and said, you know, P,
Yeah.
P said, man, they trying to start a little basketball league. I said, okay, well, you know what I'm saying? I help out the kids, whatever. He said, nah, the lady wants you to coach. So I was like, all right, cool. I go to Betty Griggs, my new principal at Central Park. I said, well, the school at Price want me to coach basketball. She said, oh, no, we finna start our program back here at Central Park. So fast forward, everybody love to say we started from the bottom.
Right.
I took on the girls and boys basketball program at Central Park Elementary.
Wait a minute. So an elementary hoop.
Yes.
Really?
He got both
Yes.
of them.
Girls
He
and
got
boys
the boys.
basketball, teaching 4th grade English and reading. English and reading.
I did not know that.
And I just thank God because, man, I never coached. I just took, like I said, everything I did, and we ran the city.
Right.
I went Richard Nolan, Brittany Young, for Deidre Cole. It's a lot of people that was at the elementary school when I started. So I was doing the way they set it up was we had a site, Sun Valley had a site, Hemp Hill had a site. Hence my story. Now that's how I met Reggie Webb with a girl, but that's another story.
Okay.
And so we were beating everybody. And I'm brash, I'm arrogant, talking noise, throwing chairs, getting texts. But I'm not knowing what I'm doing. But from there, to answer your question, that's how my career took off. So, and we can get into that, whatever. But from there, I was coaching Central Park Elementary girls and boys basketball for 4 or 5 years and won the city championship every year but once.
So you did that for.
My first 4 or 5 years teaching, 99 to 2000, before I even went to midfield.
So when did you go? Like, so what? After that, you went to midfield.
So what happened? Listen, that's why I say, man. So I'm at Central Park Elementary, and we were going to play into a tournament at I think McAlpine Park. Is that over by near Jo?
Right.
So we go there like, I'm beating everybody. So I'm thinking like, I got Brittany Young, I got a squad, I got my squad. Let's go. So we go over there and I'm gonna give people their flowers on the show because I put this on social media before.
Right.
But along the way, it's so many people that's instrumental in my success.
Yeah.
So Chris Battle was at that game. All right. So we won the first game. So the second game, now watch this. They say the other team bagged out, so we're gonna let you play against the Roadrunners. I don't know nothing about the Roadrunners.
Right.
All I know is I heard some girls come in the gym talking about some beat. They just got back from nationals.
Okay.
Now fast forward, I wound up coaching Tyler Adams, Erica Bailey, but they were older.
Right.
Man, they beat us like a drum. Because we were 5th and 6th grade, they were 7th, 8th grade.
Okay.
But you know what I mean?
Right.
Beat us like a drum.
Right.
So after that, I'm like, okay, cool. So the next week, the same dude, Chris Battle, come to the school and say, man, you ever thought about coaching football? Nah. I'm content coaching elementary girls more basketball because I'm
for
beating
real.
everybody behind. I'm not knowing anything, but I'm also going to the games. I'm looking at the Maurice Fords and the Cavemans. I'm like, okay then, but I'm thinking I'm the man.
Right.
He came to me and said, you want to coach football? And I'm like, nah. He said, well, I'm at Arrington Middle School. If you want, you could be my defensive coordinator. So you know me, I'm from Florida. I played DB. I'm like, okay, bet. You know what I mean? So now watch this. During this time, there was a guy named Tim Mullins. I'm gonna give him his flowers too. He was over at Alabama Twisters. At the time, you may have had 1 or 2 black girls with the whole Twister program.
Right.
He came to one of our elementary games, right?
Yeah.
We playing against Brown. I don't know if you remember Orlando Robinson. He had Alpha. He had
Yeah,
Brown.
yeah.
Purnell had Price, which is Kanisha Horn. Orlando had Jasmine Saxton. And I had Brittany Young and a couple other girls.
Right.
So he came and he said, man, you got any girls that's 92? And I was like, what you mean 92? Oh, bro, I don't know. Yeah. So I said, I went to Kanisha. Brittany, I said, what year you born? She said 92. I go to Kanisha, what year you born? She said 92. I go to Jasmine Saxton, 92. I said, shoot, hey, let's go on. Woo-doo.
Right.
So fast forward, that's how we got to the Twisters.
Wow.
And the rest was history with that.
Right,
You know how we
right.
just ran everything.
Right.
So I went on to Arrington and I became the defensive coordinator.
Okay.
All right. Sam Shade, who was at Pinson, who at Miles, his mom was just retiring from Arrington Middle School. So they started the new rule where if you're not a certified person, you can't be a head coach.
Okay.
So Battle brought me in, but he couldn't be the head coach. So on paper, I became the head boys basketball coach and the head football coach. But I kept Battle on because I said, man, I appreciate you.
Right.
I'm going
Right.
to still stay the defensive coordinator. On paper, I'm the head coach, but you're going to still be the OC.
Right.
Man, went out there, I think they won like 3 or 4 games the year before that. Went out there and won like 7 games in football.
Wow.
Basketball team had won like 6 games. We went like 15-2 when I had Booney and Big Dave and all them.
Okay.
And turned that around. All right? So watch this. I'm going to church at 6th Avenue.
Okay.
I would always see Reggie Ware because we played when I was at Miles. He was at
Right.
Sanford. Every year, man, Bobby, you want to work the camp? You want to work the camp? I'm like, no, I'm cool. I'm teaching summer school. I'm coaching my little, you know what I'm saying? I'm cool.
Yeah.
And every year he would come to me and ask me, well, do you want to, man, you need to come on over here, come on. I'm like, no, I'm good. So one time he said, man, what you teach? And I told him. He said, man, I'm finna get the head job at Midfield. Well, he was at Rutledge.
Okay.
Fast forward. So he had Courtney Jones, Mary Mitchell. He had all them when he's at Rutledge. I said, man, bro, I'm only K through 5. I'm elementary. Mind you, like I said, because I didn't never want to coach.
Right.
He said, well, Rutledge started at 5th grade. I'm like, for real? He said, yeah, man, you come on. So long story short, he talked to the principal over there, Reggie. All these people are instrumental in where I am now. I talked to Nikita Williams, she's the principal. She said, well, the only way you can come on is you coach volleyball and you can coach boys basketball, you know, to make up for the money. I'm like, cool. I ain't know nothing about no volleyball, man. I went and got them girls and went and did me some Google assignments, and all girls that played basketball, I made them play volleyball. And we ran the tape.
Right.
Undefeated for 2 years. I was Reggie Ware's assistant coach
Right.
at the high school while coaching football, girls basketball, because the guy retired, and boys basketball.
Right.
All at the same time. And still coaching AAU. Alabama Twisters, Road Runner, Southeast Elite, all along I'm being an assistant coach. And that's how I got on with the girls. And, you know, we would work together. And so finally what happened was Coach Sig and I, again, I'm name dropping people along the way.
Right,
Coach Sig, his wife worked with me at the middle school. And he had some monster squads at midfield, but they never got over the hump. And he was like, Coach, man, if I don't win it this year, I'm out of here. So what happened was all the parents at the middle school was like, man, we want Coach Bob to come to the high school. I'm being transparent. I go to Coach Sig like, bro, I don't want your job. I said, but if it come available, I take it. He was like, no, my bro, I appreciate you coming to me, whatever.
Right.
So once he retired, Ruben Nelson, another person,
Okay.
you know what I'm saying, was the AD and the football coach. I said, Ruben, I want the job. They still gave me the runaround. They interviewed other cats. I didn't get the job until I didn't have no summer my first year. I told him, I said, if you give me the job here, you give me 3 years, we'll win a state title. I said, but you won't find nobody that outwork me. And so finally around late July, early August, I got the job. And that's how I became the head basketball coach at Midfield.
So
Wow.
Wait. So when did you coach on the Ware? Was Ware the girls?
Head
coaching?
girls coach, and I was at the middle school teaching. Once I came over there, I had some move-ins, let me say that, Kanisha Horn and Brittany Young, they moved in. And so we continued the legacy. So while doing that, I was his assistant coach as well.
So did Coach Ware? Did he win a state championship?
Yeah, so we didn't know what we were doing. They said, man, if y'all win this game, y'all gonna go to the, I think they said something like regional. We like, what's the regional? Right. Like, we got some freshmen. We started 4 freshmen. Courtney Jones a freshman, Meredith Mitchell a freshman, Brandon Turner, Erica Bailey, all them girls freshmen.
Wow.
We don't know what we doing. We just coaching, just doing what we love to do.
Yeah.
Man, we went all the way to the Final Four. And so the first year, 2 years, we lost to Pisgah, who's still dominant to this day. And then after that, we finally won 3 in a row. And then that's when I got the boys' job.
Okay.
So I tell everybody I got 7 total, but I got 4 as a head and 3 as an assistant.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't know that story.
No, I definitely didn't know the Central Park.
Yeah.
The Arrington.
And that's why
coaching the football. I mean,
yeah. And so when I'm looking up and all these my big bros, I'm looking at like I said, you know, you got Maurice Ford, you got Caveman, Coach Lane, all these guys, Coach Meacham, Trent Woodland, all my guys, they coaching high school basketball, and I'm sitting here, I'm cool. I'm coaching elementary and middle school, beating everybody, not knowing. You know what I mean? But like I said, that was never my inspiration. I think God guided this.
Right.
Yeah, that's all.
Most definitely.
That's it.
And amazing, you said something before we went on air, and I mean all that stuff you was doing, AAU,
Man,
elementary,
tirelessly working.
football. But you don't, like you said, I don't feel like I've been working. I'm
20
doing what I enjoy.
I'm going 24 years in education right now, and every day I wake up, it amazes me that I'm someone's mentor. Kids look up to me or who I am. Like, I'm so far away removed from what people think. You know what I mean? And it's just it's just a blessing. Like,
Yeah.
It's like it's easy to me. You know what I mean? Teaching the coach, it's normal.
Well,
Coach,
go ahead.
We got somebody that speaks just to that, to what you just said, being somebody's mentor.
Yeah.
Let me
y'all.
see.
Which one?
Jermaine.
No, y'all did, man.
Coach, we working like you working, man.
Man, what does Coach Daryl Bam Barber mean to me? This man means the world to me. He's the essence of who I am today as a man, and he's taught me many things in my experience with him since I was a kid. But these three major things that he has really shaped me as a man I am today, and I would say is confidence, discipline, and being vocal. Man, okay, number one, with confidence. When you playing a masculine sport, any sport, you gotta exclude a high level of passion, dignity, and pride. And at 5'8", penetrating the hole, you gotta have a lot of confidence. And it's a skill set that you gotta practice as well as your game. But even with life, you gotta have high level of confidence when it comes to penetrating the world with your unique gift. Tackling your goals and the things that you need to be, things that you need to do. So that's one thing. Two, discipline. Man, through basketball, he has taught me that discipline is doing what you don't want to do and doing it like you love it. It's gonna be times where in a sport or in basketball, that you ain't gonna want to do those training sessions. You're not gonna want to practice. You're not gonna want to condition. But if you want to be an amazing, magnificent player, you're gonna have to do these things. But then with life, it's gonna be times where you don't want to wash that car. You don't want to pay that bill or save that money, work on that credit. But you got to be disciplined if you want a certain standard or a certain goal to reach financially, or when it comes to your responsibility obligations. So discipline, that's what I think that might be the biggest one. And three, being vocal. Through basketball, he has taught me that on the court, and I was never a shy person, but I definitely was, growing up, but I definitely wasn't the most vocal. But through basketball, he has taught me to be how vocal I am today. And when you're on that court and playing as point guard, you have to be the quarterback. You have to talk to your players to put them in the right position, to let them know when they're doing something wrong, or to pep them up to make sure they continue to do what's right consistently. And through life, it's gonna be times where you need to be vocal to your children, to your wife, or your husband, for your needs and the things that you want, or being vocal in the category of being confrontational as well, and confronting that person in the mirror, who you are, or your fears and and things. And those are three major things, man. He has taught me through basketball. And people don't realize that his slogan, he's very adamant about his slogan, and that's the main objective. Not only does he gonna make you a great basketball player, he's gonna make you a great human being as well. And I love that man to death, and without him, I wouldn't be the man I am today.
Man. My God, man. I appreciate you, man. They always told me that was one of my favorites. I biased him, but I was so hard on that kid, man, just trying to bring him out of his shell.
Yeah.
So that means a lot, man. Definitely, man. I appreciate you guys for that.
You did a good job with him, because the way he spoke about you and being we all know basketball is a big man's game.
Yeah.
But he happened to be, a 5'8" guy
Yeah.
that, from my understanding from doing my research, was a hell of a guard.
Yeah.
Was a pretty decent player.
Very good.
Yeah, and he credit all that to you, man. That's,
Yeah.
that's
And,
big.
and you know what's so crazy? I taught him in the 5th grade. You know what I mean? And,
Yeah.
Yeah, people just don't understand, man. A lot of those kids I was able to teach before I even got the head coaching job.
right.
So
Yeah.
when they came up, they see me in class. All right, we got to do our assignment, and then I'm on the board with the game, getting ready for the game plan because I'm one of the very few high school coaches that was teaching 7 class periods a day, 5th grade.
Wow.
Yeah.
So they seeing that like, man, I can't wait. I play with Coach Bob. You know what I'm saying? So to come from 5th grade all the way up, when they got there, they were ready.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Man, that is crazy. That's my guy though, man. Hey,
Yeah.
JT,
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
just, he personality,
Yeah.
but in the labs, I remember
Chip
when
used
Chip
to
was a
cook.
little
Yeah,
fella, man,
yeah.
he would take time. You know, these high schools thing, they ain't had to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, he taking time and hey man, hey, let's do it like this.
Right.
Boom, boom. There ain't no easy layup right here. You know, just
Yeah, it was,
something you would say.
they could have easily just been like, man, going on
Yeah,
or whatever.
yeah.
You know,
Little
boy.
man.
Yeah,
Little man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Coach, you and coach boys and girls. Okay. What's like the major difference in how did you, if you had to adjust your style coaching the girls, what's the difference in coaching those girls and boys?
Yeah, I never forget one of my guys I coached in middle school, to tell my age, I always say this, Runner Steele, he first started coaching. He asked me that question. And me and Rob, Coach Mosley, would talk about this often. And my answer may not be traditional. It ain't no difference with me.
Okay.
Outside of me,
Three state rings as a assistant, 4 as a head coach. What that team that stood out, boys and girls? Which team would you say? And it's a 2-part question.
yeah.
Would you say it was your best team? And did you have a team that possibly was even better but did not?
Great point.
Okay.
So let me say the girls first, because like I said, I don't know if Erica Baylor and my girls tuned in, but they give me the blues because they swear that I don't ever get a girl. You act like you ain't never coached girls before.
Right.
I think it was, middle school we ran the table.
Right.
AAU we ran the table. So, man, I've been blessed to have a lot of great teams. But one team in particular, I think, was Brittany Young's freshman year. It may have been Meredith. We ranked, I think we're like 32-1. We ranked in the nation by Max Preps. That girls team, man, you talk about 6'1" point guard in Meredith, 6'2" Courtney Jones down low, Erica Baylor shooting it from the timeline, Brandy Turner locking you up, Tyler Adams coming off the bench. Like, we were just so loaded.
Right.
That team was special.
Okay.
That team was special for the girls. AAU-wise, we're going to talk about high school. So you're talking high school.
right.
So high school-wise, I would definitely say that girls team. We had this conversation a lot with former players and a lot of my friends, man. Let me answer the second part first before I get into that.
All right.
The 2018 team
Okay.
was pretty
Okay.
darn good. We played one too many games. That was a chance to repeat.
You jumping the gun over, okay?
Yeah,
I'm coming to that.
So they all were special in their own different way.
Right.
12, I'm gonna tell you why 12. Okay, I'm gonna say it like I'm gonna tell you why 2012 was so unique. That's the year when Theo Sankey moved in, and people tried to report us for playing illegal players, so we had to forfeit a lot of games.
Okay.
I had 4 or 5 guys that couldn't play, so I had to move some JV guys. So basically, when we went to the Civic Center, we had 6 varsity guys.
Wow.
Freshman G-Man hit the game winner.
Okay.
the adversity that year separates that team from everybody.
Was that the bank
Bank,
kids?
yeah. And the
okay.
adversity that we went through from being left down in Alabama State with the bus because they had the times wrong, to having to forfeit all those games, to kids not being able to play. Everything they went to, and they called, I got an article right now, they called it the season full of miracles. You know, we went as far as number 2 on ESPN for, you know, I used to do the top 10 with that game winner. So for the adversity, 2012. 2017, man, Cam Woods was a freshman, shy, Keenan, like, man, we ran the city. You know what I mean? We ran the city, and they were special to the point where Shy told me at the beginning of the season, we're going to win state, Coach. You need to go and order the rings now.
Okay.
What you talking about? We also had 2 players up for 3A Player of the Year with Shy and Cam.
Right.
They were different.
Right.
Like I said, 18 is the team that probably got slighted because, you know, we played one too many games. But then you go to Pinson. And so in 2012, we won it in 4A. And then we dropped down to 3A.
Right.
2017, we won it in 3A. All right, so I don't know if I'm getting ahead of myself. Only reason they winning, because they 3A.
Right.
He wouldn't do that on 5A, 6A, 7A, whatever, but we beating all y'all behinds too.
I was going to say, because you playing the Mountain Brooks. You playing the We Know.
Everybody.
Yeah.
So we competing or beating y'all behinds. So I could have stayed at midfield. When I say I, as a coach,
Right.
Cam could have stayed. We could have stayed there and ran the table 3, 4, 5 in a row. I love challenges.
Right.
I was mad when we dropped to 3A from 4A.
Yeah.
You follow what I'm saying?
Right.
Okay. I was supposed to go to Thompson. That's another story.
Yeah, you
7A.
jumping the gun.
Yeah. So I go to Pinson, 6A. They ain't gonna get it done. Cam ain't gonna be able to do this, or Bob ain't gonna be able to 6A this or that. You talking to somebody who, when you tell me I can't do something?
Right.
Oh,
Right.
Oh,
It's on.
come on. So not only do we go there and win the first one in school history, this guy go from being 3A Player of the Year to 6A Player
Who
of
is
the Year.
that?
Cam Woods.
Cam Woods.
Yeah. Go from
Wow.
being 3A Player of the Year
Now-
to 6A Player of the Year.
Now hold on. I want to say this. Now speaking of Cam Woods, he has a couple things I want to say to you.
Y'all didn't get this boy to talk.
Problem, man. I just want to let you know how much I appreciate you, man. How much you did for me on and off the court throughout these years of life. Ever since that day, got me out the middle school team at Relish to move up and play high school. Ever since that day,
He's struggling, but he on it.
we just
And he didn't want
found
to
a
play.
way to get closer, build a bond that's forever. And I want to thank you for that, man. Give your flowers, man. A lot of people don't give your flowers out here, man.
Yeah.
You know how that go, though. But hey, man, you know your boy gonna come through every time. I always show love, man. I love you, Coach.
Love you too, man.
Trying to get back to win these rings.
Yeah. Most definitely, my guy. My
That's
guy.
Cam.
That's tough, man.
That's Cam.
Y'all did some real homework, Dean.
Yeah.
My guy right there, man.
And
So,
man,
you
we ain't
know.
no flukes now. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. So I can't hear. Can we?
Yep. You can hear.
Yeah, I feel you.
You can hear now.
No, I can't hear now.
We can hear you.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. No, Cam gone. We can hear you though. Go ahead.
You can hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So I can't hear nothing here though.
Okay, I'll fix that.
Oh.
But keep talking.
But so you know, there it is. I can hear it now. So you know, we go, like I said, we go to Pinson, man, and you know, the guy just got drafted from Missouri. Kobe, not Kobe Jones, but Kobe Brown.
Yeah.
You know, we had to go through them. Cam 6'1", 6'2". He had Lee Huntsville 6'7", 6'8". Knocked them off, and we go on to win the first state championship in Pinson Valley school history. You know what I mean? So, what can y'all say now? We could have easily stayed there, like I said, just ran the table in 3A, but we both love challenges.
Yeah.
The principal over there. What's my guy's name?
Mike Turner.
Miles.
Miles.
Yeah, Mile Lynn.
I went to, trying to see which game that was, but we actually sit next to each other. It was an Alabama game.
Yeah.
And he was like, he saw my son. He's like, you play basketball? Yeah. He said, man, you know, he said something, but it was some kind of way we got on you.
Yeah.
And he was like, keep it on the reps. He's about to be the coach at Pinson. I was like, okay.
Yeah. That
Good guy.
dude there, man. Shout out to Mike Turner. I tell everybody, man, that dude gets it.
Yeah.
From an administrative standpoint as a principal, you know, and not only with just sports, you know what I mean? Whether it be the custodial staff, the band, academics, he gets it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And again, Vivian Howard, Miles College, I wouldn't be where I would right now if it wasn't for him. All right. So when I took the job, you know, you going over to Mike Turner, man. He gonna do. He's been the principal over 2 former Mileans. I say that.
Okay.
And things didn't end so favorable, whatever. For lack of better words, because I don't get into all that. Don't go over there with him, man. If you don't win your first year, he gonna fire you. He the Jerry Jones of high school. Yeah, but guess what though? Who I am, that don't move me.
Right.
You like
know what I'm
challenges.
saying? Yeah, like I knew. I told him the same thing I told Midfield. I said, give me 3 years, you gonna get you a state title. Ain't nobody gonna outwork me.
Right.
I said we would go compete for one my first year, and by year 2 we were gonna have one.
Right.
But we won it in our first year. I wasn't worried. He could stand in the tunnel. He could stand by my bench. He could stand where he would. That don't bother me because I'm gonna do it. He can come to practice.
Right.
It don't bother me because I'm gonna do what I'm supposed to do.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah. You built like that.
yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Coach, you brought up 2012. Like you said, you see we've done our little homework.
Yeah.
So Coach Jones,
Yeah.
Coach Jones, like, hey man, ask him this, ask him that, like, what? So you kind of painted that picture,
Yeah.
of what I guess. He was like, state came in, looked at this, and looked at that, but that 18 was always a year that I remember that because by Chip training with you,
Yeah.
I'm like, this is my guy.
Yeah.
I'm like, I support. Like, wait man, won't you take Chip over here? Wow, this is my guy. This is what I'm fooling with. So I get a lot of flack. I send him some text messages, jokers that be on me, and they own you, but they coming at me.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I said, so when that 18 hit, man, your boy, with the schedule, I mean, what's wrong? What's going on? What happened with that?
So basically, at the time, the rule was you're allowed 20 games and 3 tournaments. All right. I've always done my schedule, 20 games, 3 tournaments.
Yeah.
All right. I know cats that schedule 25 games, 23 games, just in case, they have to cancel whatever.
Right.
Right. So what happened was we picked up a game in Mississippi. I'm not going to let my kids not have opportunity to go play out of the state.
Right.
Yeah.
I never forget, at Minor, the coach said, man, coach, we don't got to play this game if you don't want to. I'm like, no, it's cool. But me picking up the game, I ain't thinking that straight them down. Because at the end of the day, if I'm going to play one game over, I'm going to play 3 or 4 games over.
Yeah.
If I'm trying to do something malicious, then if you know my track record, that ain't me.
Right.
So what happened that same year was Sumter Central, my frat brother down there was coaching. The rule came down on him. So I'm like, dang, bro, what happened? You know what I'm saying? He's like, man, I scheduled too many games, whatever. So I ain't thinking nothing about it. So we get ready to go to the playoffs. And ACA out of Tuscaloosa knew they couldn't beat us. So the ruling is if you go over the amount of games, you're going to forfeit your next game. So he didn't do it the area championship game because if I forfeited the crossover, I'd still be good. He waited till we were getting ready to play him where, it's now it's one and done. Because, in the area, if you win one, you still you can go on the road.
Right.
So he waited and he sent the letter in. And so my principal called me in and he was like, Coach, I got a letter from ACA Academy in Tuscaloosa. They saying we played too many games. Look at your schedule. So I'm like, nah, we ain't played too many games. So sure enough, when I went back and counted, when I picked up that Mississippi game, that gave us 21 games. And so from there, we had to forfeit our next game, but our next game would have been against them.
Right.
So he made it to the Final Four and got smacked. But I'm like, you really wanted to do it that way? And so anybody who knows, and that was the hardest meeting I ever had in my life as it relates to kids and parents.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's how I know I had so much love and support because they could have easily been in the uproar, been upset and mad. They had my back twofold.
Wow.
You know what I mean? But that's what it was, man. We played one game too many, and they kicked us out of the playoffs.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man,
and that would have been the year where we played. We beat Plainview in 17.
Right.
That would have been the rematch had we made it in 18. You know what I mean? And Coker, my guy, he was looking forward to it. At Plainview.
Now, has he recently changed jobs?
Yeah, he's at Fort Payne.
Okay.
Yeah, he's at
Okay.
Fort Payne.
Okay.
Fort Payne.
Mm-hmm.
Man. So
Now-
go ahead.
Go no. Now Jones, who? Because I'm like the guy on the outside looking.
You
in.
football guy.
Well, not only that, I've been gone for a while.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And hearing Bam talk, Bam, Barbara. Bam. That's all I know.
Yeah, most definitely.
But man, it's very refreshing from a guy in my position because now I'm piecing together the puzzle, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Now Jones, who is Jones?
Coach Jones.
Coach Jones.
So, Coach Matthew Epps, who's the principal now at, I hope I would say it right, Helena, my guy. I was his mentor as a 5th grade teacher.
Okay.
And I brought him on my staff. So he gets the head coaching job at Rutledge once I left.
Okay.
Jermaine and all that, you know what I mean?
Right.
And so my best friend, my brother, William Dozier, was working at the YMCA. He said, man, this cat, Courtney Jones, want to try to get into coaching. He got his own little AAU team, whatever. I'm like, okay, cool. So I said, let him go out there and talk to Epps at the middle school. So Epps bring him on as his assistant coach at Rutledge. They coach Jermaine and all my players and everything, and they went into middle school.
Right.
So I never forget, 2012, I'm real big on loyalty and trust. Epps came to me and said, man, Coach Jones just want to know if he can come along for the ride and kind of watch you and grow in this 2012. And he want to know if he can sit on the bench.
Okay, he's an older. I mean, he's not a kid at this point.
No, he was at
Okay.
AAU team, played at
Okay,
Fairfield.
good,
Yeah, so
good.
he was assistant at the middle school.
Okay.
My exact words were to Epps, well, if you trust him, all right, cool.
Right.
And so he if you go back and look at the video when G-Man hit the game when the shot, Jones was on the bench, but he was sitting at the end of the bench.
Okay.
But he just wanted to come along for the experience and for the ride.
Right.
Yeah.
The next year in 13, I think Epps got the assistant principal job, I want to say, at Midfield or Rutledge.
Okay.
And I moved Jones up.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then by the time 14 got here, Jones was first seat.
Okay.
And he learned the ropes, and he was humble. He was a young, hungry coach. And he put this on Facebook one day, and I'm going to tell the story. It's 2 things I told him. I said, clean up your social media. Not that it was derogatory, but it was just, he was a young guy.
Yeah.
Right.
So you just mentoring him.
Yeah, and then he's always like, because AAU, he young, they used to call him Coach Courtney. When he came to midfield, I said, man, your name ain't Coach Courtney, your name Coach Jones. Don't let them call you by your first name.
Yeah.
And those are 2 things that he just put on the social media that he stuck with.
I saw that.
And man, he became the first seed, and he was hungry. He was, willing to learn and do whatever he needed to do, whether it was washing clothes, getting balls, holding up the signs, defensive signs, or whatever. And shout out to him, man. He took the blueprint and he ran with it, and he added his own flavor to it, and he's very successful. And I'm proud of him.
Man, well, shout out to him.
Yeah.
But he also want to give you a shout out right now.
Barb, you probably said.
So, bam, the great Darryl Randolph Barber.
He done called my
Jr.
middle name.
It's always a blessing to be able to discuss my OG, my mentor, but more like a brother to me. All the success that I done got, man, it's no secret that me being up under your leadership over almost 10 years, it's got me to the point where I'm in today. Again, to be able to win, to have the success that I've had, I have to always give credit to you from the offense that I run, from my defensive mindset. Everywhere I move, everywhere I go, people always say, it's always a mimic of Darryl Barber. And I tell them, look, that's why I came up on, that was the first person to lead me in this coaching journey. And I'm just blessed that I'm able to continue my winning ways. It's a testament to you. And what you have done for others as well, man, with the rest of these kids, changed lives through basketball. You don't do that with just kids. You did that with adults as well. Myself, that come from a family standpoint, a personal standpoint, a coaching standpoint, building a program and leading these young men. You was my first example for that, and I thank you for that. I love you, and let's keep it going, man. You might be getting older, but you're still young in this career. And we're going to keep trying to win as many championships as possible. And, maybe one day that dream matchup will probably be me and you in a state championship game going one-on-one. I think that'll be the biggest draw in the history of Alabama High School Athletic Association. But more blessings to you, man. Let's just keep doing it. Again, thank you. I appreciate you. With my 100 wins that I got this year, I gave you a big shout out to that. I'm already a state champ as a head coach. I've been to the Final Four, the state finals twice, and like I say, all that come from up under your pedigree. So just keep doing what you're doing, keep leading us, keep being the leader that you are, man, and blessings gonna continue to come.
Appreciate you, little bro. Much love, man. Y'all see it, man.
Man, wow. Now let me just say this. I'm gonna pull back, but man, these guys, man, you touch so many lives, and just to know you and know your journey, and you speak of it, man. That's the kind of stuff, man, that makes us stronger, man. As brothers, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a pleasure just to hear that, man.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure. Yeah. It is, man.
Yeah.
So, man, hey, big shout out to you, bro.
Yeah.
I told Mike, I said, man, listen, what was the movie? Jerry Maguire?
Yeah.
I said, well, we're going to have a Roy Firestein moment. hey, you going to make me cry.
Man, that's serious, man.
Yeah, that's good stuff, Coach.
That is, man.
It's like, what is it? Changing lives through basketball.
Yeah.
You know, it's simply stated. I meant in the intro that Coach and I go back. I think you just put some out there.
Almost
been training 11, going on 12 years.
Yeah.
He came into my best friend restaurant one Saturday night, and you know, like I said, little fella, you know, he taller kid in his class. His joker is his mom. They know folks know I'm crazy, but they don't know she is as crazy
as you.
As me.
You gotta understand, birds of a feather flock together.
This joker gets a rebound, and everybody take off, and he has no outlet, and he gets a traveling call, so she's furious. This is Sunday, so I'm calling everybody, man. Who trained your kid? Who blah blah blah. So I kept hearing his name.
Really?
Yeah. So when he came in, you know.
But it was so crazy. This was so crazy. That was my first time ever going there.
Yeah.
Going where?
Because I was living down there when I was married. And I went in. I had never had no wings around the clock.
Oh, word.
Yeah.
Word.
He came in the store.
And what's crazy is that I've been knowing you a long time. This been my man for a long time.
Wow.
And y'all.
Yeah, I go into the store and I don't know how we got on. He was like, I don't know
well,
how.
He looked for me.
Yeah,
I said, man, you look for me. He said, well, man, I coach basketball in Midfield. I said, Midfield? Man, I went to Midfield.
Yep.
And I said, man, I got my phone, I looked up. I said, man, this guy just gave me your number about a week ago. He said, you train? He said, yeah, I train. And that next week was spring break.
Right.
Brought Chip over there and did 2 sessions. He was like, man, it's going to take a couple sessions to get in to where he can get in the group with the rest of the kids.
Yeah.
Brought McKenzie as well.
Yeah.
And his history.
Yeah.
And Coach, I mean, just the whole dedication piece. Chip had junior high game. I mean, not junior high, but over the mountain games. He's coming to see. He come to see the kids he trained, to see what they're doing, see if they implement what he's
teaching them. Yeah, yeah.
And it's crazy, you know. It was just like, wow, man, this guy loves what he does.
Yeah,
just that simple.
Yeah.
And to complete that story, Chip went from playing center.
Yeah, me told me that. Yeah.
To playing the one point guard.
But I told him, I said, man, don't let them put him down there just because he's tall. You never know. You know what I mean?
Don't
tell them, man, he's a guard.
Yeah.
I straight up told him that.
Because we don't know, you know, I'm 5'11" at the bench, you know. I don't know how tall this joker might get, but he got fortunate and got a little taller, but, you know, he ain't tall enough to be playing center.
Right. Yeah,
you know?
Exactly. Yeah.
So, man, hey, thank you, my brother.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. On that, no doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt. Coach, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead. I'll get into it.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
I just wanted to jump over here. Like I said, you coached against some of the giants in the game. You know, like you said, when you were Central Park, you were looking up at these guys. But one game in particular that I was telling McKenzie on the way up here, Jack Doss. Tell me about that game, man. What goes into it? I'm gonna tell you something real quick.
Yeah.
When I was coaching Little League football, and the coach called me, he said, man, I got a family emergency. You're going to have to coach the team. I was just the offensive coordinator. I played quarterback in high school, so I'm like, okay, but hey, I need you to take over everything.
Right.
I got in the shower before getting ready to go to the game. I'm in there hyperventilating. Okay, I'm nervous as all get out. So one of your coaches told me, said, ask coach about being nervous before games. That's number one. But when coaching against that guy there, speak on that. What was the preparation? And what was that week like? I think you guys played them on a Saturday.
Yeah, so the first year, let me just kind of like, when I first got to Midfield, this is the luck I've had. I've been fortunate to win 4, and I think I've been down there, 6 times? Ramsey was our powerhouse in 5A.
Okay.
So I get a job in 4A, and I'm going to get the Jack Dawg. That's why I'm telling the story.
Right.
They dropped down to 4A. We go to my first year ever as a head coach. Remember I said you give me 3 years.
Right.
My little cousin, J.J. Nelson, went on to play for the Arizona Cardinals in football. They had Ralph Floyd. I had Brian Bender, Nuki's son. You know, we go down. We in the Elite 8. Elite 8. We win this game. We go to state my first year. We up 1. I never forget it like it was yesterday. Ralph Floyd come down. We ain't had no need to foul him. He 92% free throw shooter because they had already been talking about it. Brian Bender stands straight up. To this day, my little cousin JJ say, "Coach, I ain't fouled him." And he went over there, he called a foul, they beat us. But I'm telling that story to say they won state.
Okay.
That's my first year. They dropped down to 40. All right. The next year, Butler dropped down to 40. Which Trevor Lacey,
Right.
Jack Dawes, Cootie,
Right.
and all them.
Right.
I got Corey Dobine, G-Mo. We got a nice group.
Right.
I go back to the Final. I mean, this is my first time I go to the Final for my second year. They were just too much to handle.
Right.
Too much to handle. Jack Dawes get his 6. Now he going for my third year. Trevor Lacey gone,
Right.
but you still got Lil Cootie.
Right.
Now he going for 7. You can't get this 7, cuz.
Right.
It took him. I think he didn't get it till he went back to jail with Johnson with John Petty them.
Yeah.
You can't get this 7, and that's the year when G-Man hit the game winning shot and we won. So with me, man, be honest with you, and folk love to say arrogant. I'm just very confident. I ain't care nothing about Jack Dawes.
Right.
As a competitor,
Right.
I want to beat your behind.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can't get this 7
For real.
because that would have made him, I think, number 1 with the most championships in Hall of Fame.
Wow.
So he had to wait till he got. Let me put this on pause for you, Playboy. And my record against Petty, Jack Dawes, is actually we beat him when he had Petty. So I think we beat him when Petty was a sophomore. We beat him in the championship. We 2-2.
Yeah.
Against Jack Dawes. I love it.
Okay.
Big dogs or not, let's go.
Yeah, because that game I'm talking about, I think it was regular season. They came to
Midfield. That's yeah. So what happened was when we played up there, I had one kid that was hurt, but they were saying, JoJo them boy dogs.
Right,
so they was
right,
like,
right.
man, y'all up here trying to hurt them. Y'all they finna keep throwing these lobs on us.
Right.
You and Justin Hopkins and all them boys now though. But I'm saying y'all just we ain't doing that.
Right.
And I think they wound up beating us by like 8 or 9 at their place. When they came down there, y'all gotta take this L back to Huntsville.
Yeah.
Let it travel.
Hey, Mike, pack
Yeah.
jam. Pack
Yeah.
jam, Doc. Pack.
Let it travel. But again, playing those type of schools.
Right.
When I'm 3 and 4A, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It didn't mean anything to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
So, Coach, you know when you get to the state championship, I mean, during the season, you guys be G'd. I mean, we already know that. You know what I'm saying? Well, like, what goes into that? I mean, what?
In the game day preparation.
Yeah.
What goes into the game day preparation?
And the outfit. No, I'm talking about
Oh,
the outfits.
Dresses,
They
The
coordinate.
dress code?
Yeah, they coordinated.
So-
Okay, now help me understand. What is the coordination like? The coaches or the?
Well, he's saying as far as the things we would wear, dressing alike, and then when I get to the Civic Center, our outfits and things like that.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Let me hear what you're talking about.
So AL, they did an article, and this is my first time telling it. Shout out to y'all podcast again.
Okay,
verbally.
okay.
So what happened was when I was coaching with Coach Ware, he used to always get on me as a young coach. I'm brash, braids, earrings. And man, Bob, you got to look the part. F looking the part. I'm from Florida. You know what I'm saying? We winning. Kidding about all that. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna wear my stuff. Like Bob, I'm telling you, man. You gotta look the part. It ain't like that. You know, I'm like, man, I used to be like, man, F you. You know what I'm saying? I ain't studying that. And it took me a while, so I never forget. He ordered us some shirts, alike, whatever. And he was like, man, you know what I'm saying, bro? Like, if we trying to get to the next level, we got to
Look the part.
look
I
the
guess.
part. Right. So we made it to the Civic Center, and he was like, this is exactly how it started. He said, man, I'm wearing a tan suit. I was like, okay, and I ain't got no suit. I ain't got no suit. You know what I'm saying? So I went and got a tan suit. You know what I mean? And we won.
Right.
And so after that, every year he would order stuff, it would be just alike. He's like, man, we trying to do what nobody else ain't around here ain't doing.
Right.
We gonna look the part. If we want to go to college, we gonna look the part. You know what I'm saying? So it started there.
Yeah.
I always moved to beat my own drum.
Right.
I don't care what nobody think, bro. Like I've always believed in being, a pathfinder. I find my own path. A trailblazer, I blaze my own trail. You know what I'm saying? I moved to beat them, and that's just maybe that's the Florida in me. Like, bro, I don't care what you think about me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do what I want to do.
Right.
So, my first when we got there, man, I don't know what inspired me to do this, but I say, I'm from Florida, and I told my coaches, I said, we finna Miami Vice. I'm telling you, this how I started. They were like, what you mean? I said, we finna go get us some white blaze, a white suit, and we gonna wear a t-shirt up under. You know Miami Vice.
Right,
A lot of
right.
these kids didn't know.
Yeah.
I'm not thinking it's finna go viral and blow up like that. We just like, we finna dress it like on the biggest stage.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Man, we put them white suits on and them t-shirts, man. It took off.
No.
Man, it went viral.
Wow.
It took off. And so from there, You know, everybody will say, oh, you know, when I'm getting to the Civic Center, all he care about is how he look. So let me say this right here. If you gonna look good, if you got on J's, McKenzie and Chip ain't finna have on Shaqs.
No.
Right.
They gonna have on J's too. Right. So y'all so busy caught up in me, y'all ain't looked on that floor and realized them kids got on a new shooting shirt.
Yeah.
And the next game they'll have a new shooting shirt on.
Yeah.
And they got some new pants on, and they got a shirt specially made. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So not only, again, Deion, Florida,
Right.
look good.
Play good.
Feel good, play good.
Yeah.
And I just
Get
always,
paid good later.
and I've just always believed that.
Yeah.
So from there, once it took off, you just, again, to me, it was natural. It was normal.
Yeah.
I didn't look at it like I'm trying to worry about me. I'm just doing what I know, who
Yeah,
I
yeah.
am.
Right.
But also, y'all so busy caught up with me, y'all not looking on the floor and realize these boys fresh too.
Yeah.
They bringing out some new shooting shirts. They bringing out some new gear too. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Right.
So man, it just took off from there, and I just always believe in unison.
Right.
Because think about it, right? If me and my coaches in unison, the players in unison too on the floor,
Right.
Everything go hand in hand.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so,
can't do one without the other.
yeah, so when I put on the leopard that year, when I put on the pink, like, I already know what y'all gonna say, so guess what? I know if I wear this, we finna win. Because if I don't, the first thing y'all gonna say is what? Oh, he worried about how he look. No, bro, y'all don't even understand the whole purpose behind it.
Yeah.
I just always believed in being different. And that's why I try to teach my kids, dare to be different.
Yeah.
Don't worry about what nobody else think about you.
Yeah.
They're gonna have something to say, damn if you do, damn if you don't.
Yeah, they definitely.
And that's just always been me, to this day.
Well, and so do you feel, because I'm going to tell you,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you already know. 'Cause I heard it in what Cam was saying.
Yeah.
You know, hey, there's a lot of hate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you feel what do you feel that fuels the hate for Coach Barber and his teams?
Man, I'm gonna answer this the best way possible and most professional way possible. For one, I'm not from here,
Okay.
which I don't get that, because if I'm in Palm Beach and the cat come down from Alabama doing this thing, I'm gonna get with him trying to figure out what you doing.
Yeah.
Right.
Not only that, like I said, I started from elementary. I'm looking at y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think because people don't know me, and they love to say he's arrogant.
Yeah.
And if anybody knows me, I'm far from arrogant.
Right.
Now, am I confident? Yes, because I put the work in. And I tell my players to be the same way.
Right.
If I'm putting the work in, doing what I'm supposed to do, no, you can't beat me. If you do, boy, I'm coming back tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I'm very confident in my craft
That's the difference.
and what I do.
Right.
But because you're on the outside looking in, all you see is, oh, he got earrings on, he dressed, he think he this, no, I don't think nothing.
Yeah.
And when you really get to know me, because I've had people to come to me and say, who this person they talking about? Because I don't see him. Because if you come to my crib, I'm gonna make sure you straight before me. I'm gonna make sure you eat before me. Any coach that's ever been on my staff, ask them.
Right.
I care about them more than me. I don't have to win another ring.
Yeah.
I want my coaches who ain't never got one to get one. I want players who ain't never got one to get one. I want the administrators who ain't never got one to get one. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard sometimes. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. On this platform right here,
Yeah.
a lot of it's very hard, because a lot of times I'm like, hey, bro, like we our own biggest critic, like the crab in the
doubt.
barrel
No doubt.
mentality. Like,
Yes, sir.
why we can't build each other up? You understand what I'm saying? So it hurt because I'm human,
Yeah.
right?
Rightfully so.
But I'm gonna give you more to hate.
Right.
Just stay tuned. You know what I'm saying? So, because I ain't stopping.
Right.
No time soon.
Right.
But because I think a lot of times, a lot of stuff that people are doing now, and I'm not gonna go too deep into this again, a lot of stuff y'all are doing now, been there, done that.
Right.
The day, Sunday, you gotta wake up on Wednesday to catch me.
Where is it?
And I'm just being real, because y'all don't understand the behind the scenes in the relationship that I have with our kids.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, arrogant, no, but I'm a very confident young man, and I don't want to keep bringing up Florida, but like people try to dog Deion. Bro, it's just natural. My high school coach, I stayed the night at my high school coach house. How long ago that was? He fed me. So to me, the things that I do with my players and how I run my program, I thought it was natural.
Yeah.
But it's being frowned. It was being frowned. Like, they love to say the term players coach. A lot of people say they don't like that term. I love that term.
Yeah.
Right.
Because my players know, oh, that's Aunt right now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's my dad right now.
Yeah.
Oh, Coach Barber said we need to, because those grounds have been established. So they know,
Right.
they know from the gate the different personalities when they come into it.
Right.
You got to be a player's coach. That's why I think they keep me young. When I train, what song I got? What song hot?
Right. Right.
You got to be able to relate to that. Or the new J's, whatever. Like, you got to be able to relate. So because I move how I move, I guess that the hate come from that. You know what I mean? And I guess, everybody hate a winner, I guess. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, man, it don't matter to me.
it's weird.
Yeah, very.
Because my thing, like you say, if folks get to know you or see, and you putting videos out, so they see you working, and you said it numerous times, like in your interviews. Give me 3 years.
That's
number one.
Yeah.
And then nobody's gonna outwork us
at all. And I've heard, man. Speaking of videos, I've heard all they do is care about the camera. Are we not looking at the world, high school, college, pro? Okay, I remember the time when I was coaching the girls where these kids can wake up in the morning and open a physical hard copy of a newspaper.
Yeah.
They don't have that no more.
Right.
I'm putting 80% of the videos I put out. Tell me how many times you see me.
That's right.
I'm putting my kid. So you got a problem because I'm blessing my behind. I run all our pages.
Right.
90% of the videos you see, I do on my phone. I do.
Right.
Yeah.
So you got a problem with me because I'm putting my kids out there?
Yeah.
And I'm putting it out there. That's for them kids.
Yeah. Exactly.
And that's why we have high school sports covered and uncovered.
Right.
We're gonna try to help you do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just that simple.
Yeah, man, it's crazy.
Wow. Man, you and I think you said it best, man. Sometimes, man, people could be so, and I use this word kind of loosely, hypercritical. They could be so hypercritical when they don't know people. They assume the easy way out is to be criticizing or critical of that person, and without trying to get to know them. And another thing too that we have to take into account that people, man, I think you said it a moment ago. They're gonna dislike you if you're doing well, or if you're doing well. I don't know if they dislike you, but they're gonna talk about you if you're doing well or doing good, and that's important too to instill in young athletes, kids. Like, don't get so caught up in the negativity or social media, and you got to kind of have like tough skin in this thing.
Yeah.
Because people gonna in the court of public opinion, people gonna say all types of things about you, whether it's true or false.
Right.
Just because maybe they dislike you, maybe you're able to do something that they can't do, whatever the reason may be, people gonna be doing these things.
Yeah.
Coach, we're gonna ask you a couple of more, man, and let you go get out of here. This just from the state of basketball here, just in our state.
Yeah.
Shot clock. Now let me ask you this, and I got one sitting out here, and I had one that both of them adversely were affected by playing teams that, and I won't call their names, but Chip played a team, they got a 3-point lead. Top of the third quarter, pull their out the ball. Okay, we came back and took the lead, but they still ended up getting us. But shot clock in Alabama, where are we?
So
how would that help and hurt some of these teams that are?
Oh, it hurt a lot of these.
Okay,
but we're closer than you know it.
Okay,
that's why every year if you follow Pinson or Midfield, we go to Georgia at least once or twice.
Okay,
so I'll say for the last 7 years I've been to Georgia and played at least 14 games and probably got one shot clock violation.
Wow.
So they want us to prepare kids for college. But why y'all don't have a shot clock? They got a shot clock in college.
Right.
You got the field. What do you call it in the football? You got the
time
clock in football in high school, right? So first they talked about financial, and I'm a firm believer in this. I'm gonna watch how I say it because I know a lot of people down in Montgomery, but I feel like we can get whatever we need financially if y'all really wanted it.
Right.
Okay. Second thing of that is, and this is public, so I can say this. When they did the voting, they included the principals. All right, so the high school coaches, they voted for it. But if you include the principals, how many principals really are into maybe basketball or shot clock?
Right.
So we didn't get it that year. But now I think we're headed in the right direction, and I think it's needed in Alabama because a lot of these jokers got to coach. You understand what I'm saying? Right. You can't get a 5-6 point league and run 2-3 minutes off the clock now. It ain't basketball.
At all.
You know what I mean? And to each his own, but I've always played fast. So it wouldn't affect me and it wouldn't affect a lot of teams, but some teams it would affect them. But if we're trying to get the main thing, if we're trying to get these kids for the next level, then we need to have the next level things in place for them to be prepared.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you mentioned earlier. You said you had some move-ins. I think we were talking about. Might have been talking about the girls. You had some move-ins. It's a big discussion on Facebook now. Some of your colleagues. I think we may have. Shout out to my man Maurice over there at Fairfield. That's my guy. Yeah. But so I think we have some kids maybe moving around. What's your thoughts on that?
Man, ever since I've been at midfield, I look at it like a relationship.
Let me say this too before you start your answer. And we were talking about, we kind of our own worst enemy. Nobody, the fervor that I'm seeing with it now, it wasn't the same fervor when you had some kids move from your school to Mountain Brook.
And I'm glad you said it because I was gonna say that.
Okay.
First of all, it's like a relationship. I'm gonna get if I don't want you or you don't want me, I can't get mad because you want somebody else.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? It happens in college.
Oh yeah.
We just said we want to get kids ready for college.
Right.
Coaches move around. You understand what I'm saying? So if a kid make a bona fide move, we can't get mad.
Right.
But the thing is relationships. You understand what I'm saying? Because can nobody come to Pinson and say, Kayla White, come on. Can nobody come to midfield and say, Jermaine Turner, come on.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
But at the end of the day, it's been going on.
Right.
So now we're making a big to-do about it. You understand what I'm saying? Because like you said, where was all that fuss and argument when my two guys left went to Mountain Brook? And they won their first state title. What was all the fuss then? You understand what I'm saying?
History.
Right. So now all of a sudden because...
I remember that.
Huh?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, so now we're making a big fuss because two kids left one school and went to... Man, listen, this is my thing on it. Ain't none of them out there 20, 21 years old. So if you of the age in high school and you want to make a move, I don't care nothing about that. I ain't telling nobody. And I know folks doing stuff, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I done had kids move in to Midfield. I done had kids move into Pinson. If a kid and their family decides they want to make the best decision
And like you said,
for them, and it's not to bring his name up for example, but when Trent and Kobe, you know what I'm saying, went over there, like, they got that right. If you can make a bona fide move, then you go put your son in a better position at Spain Park where you felt best for him. If you can make a bona fide move, then I'm all for it.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, I ain't worried about it. Because you still got to put 5 players on the court and we're going to compete.
That's it. That's it.
You know what I mean? So it's just the adults, man. Sometimes the adults, we got to get out of our own way.
Right.
And you know what I'm saying, with these kids and these families, and man, they gonna do the best. Whatever you feel like. Listen, if my child is a cheerleader right now, if I felt that Pinson had a better cheer program than Hewitttown, then that's what we gonna do. Yeah. You got to put your kids in the best position possible.
Right.
They do it all the time.
Right.
On every level.
Yeah.
So I don't have no problem with it.
I got you.
At all.
Hey, man.
Good stuff, man.
Yeah,
Good
yeah.
stuff. Coach, you had a very successful season last year. Came up short.
Yeah.
How is that play? I mean, what you doing in the off season? What you doing after that last game? You know, getting ready for next year.
Yeah, that was probably outside of the meeting with the parents in 18 about playing too many games. That probably was the toughest ending that I've ever had to a season, because it's always hard when your first loss is your last loss. You know, to be ranked in the nation, you know what I mean, and to be undefeated, it was tough. But now that I've had time to reflect, man, we did a lot of things. You know, and my goal is to win a state title every year.
Oh, yeah.
You understand that? Yeah. But most wins in school history, first time ranked in the nation. You know what I mean? I can't speak on right now. We got 2 national invites coming up for this season. Those kids really poured their hearts out. And I think it was just a situation, man, we chose the wrong night. You know, we shot 2 out of 25 from three-point range. And somebody might say, well, y'all took 25 threes, but if you follow my program, our team, we're going to take at least 23s anyway. Wow. But we might make 8 to 12 of them. Right. And on that particular night, you know, they wind up just being the better team. You know what I mean? And it was tough. And, you know, it still hurts when you think about it. But at the end of the day, you know, we got kids that going to college out their team, playing basketball, and these new guys, the returning guys that got back right back in the lab. And getting bigger, getting stronger, getting faster, and we're ready. And we're going to be very good again.
Okay.
You know, getting ready to go back and try to get this thing done, man. Most definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Well, man, look, Mike.
Hey, man. Hey, like I said, man, I've been knowing this guy for a long time, and we Florida boys.
Yeah.
South Florida, West Palm Beach County.
Yeah.
You know, came to Miles when he came to Miles. Hey, we in the building, man.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it. And I love what you guys are doing, man, and it just meant a lot for me to come on here and be able to answer these questions and kind of, you know, tell a little bit of my story, you know, that a lot of folk don't know.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Yeah, and include myself too, man, because Jay, you know, Jay tell me a lot of things too. And just listening to you, like I said before, man, just hearing how we connecting these dots for me, it's amazing, man.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
So it's more entertaining for me than anything.
And for y'all to go back and get my former players, man, and my old assistant coach, man, I appreciate y'all, because this ain't just no mom and pop. We just gonna talk, ask questions. Y'all really took the time to put this thing together, man, and it's a blessing, you know what I mean, to be able to come on here and see my former players, man.
And a testament to
That's
Jay
my
too,
guy,
man.
most definitely my guy, yeah.
Testament to Jay,
Well, man, like I said, man, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Like I said, it was a long time coming.
Yeah,
We pulled it off.
Yeah.
But look, folks, you guys follow us on social media. It's High School Sports Covered
and
Uncovered, HSCU, both, well, actually, Facebook, Instagram, and now Twitter.
Yeah,
Well,
you got to go to
Twitter.
Twitter.
Yeah. So you guys follow us. Suggest guests. I got a couple of folks that we want to bring in behind Coach. And basically, I'm setting up my own personal Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
So the folks that will be following Coach, they right there with him. But if you got somebody you want to see or hear from, as well as these student athletes, you guys leave us a message. Put it, you know, send us questions you want us to ask them, and so on and so forth. And we're gonna try to keep this thing going.
That's it.
So once again, we appreciate you.
Yes, sir,
Appreciate
man.
you, Coach
Appreciate
Barber.
y'all,
Yes,
man.
sir.
Yeah, most definitely. Salute to you guys.
Hey, boy. Coach Barber, man. Hey, thank you, Jay.
Yes, sir.
And I think that's it.
I think we take them on out with Coach Barber's song if we can.
Hey, that's what I'm looking for. Hey, great minds think alike. Don't they?
Yeah, man.
If you ain't ballin' with Barber, then hold it, stop talking. Skills versus drills, we ain't doing never ballin'. We just hung up the phone, but success keep calling. Ballin' with Barber and the program is awesome. You ain't ballin' with Barber, then hold it, stop talking. Skills versus drills, we